After a long and boring sideways consolidation in the crypto market, are we about to see a big reversal in July? Well, as you'll soon see, there are many factors all lining up in a row, all which say to me that July is going to be an epic month for the crypto market. And as always, in this video, we're going to be covering the latest price action to see what is going on, how this cycle has been performing against the previous ones, how high I think we could be going in this market cycle, and then we'll finish with the biggest developments from all around the world in just the past couple of weeks. Okay, so let's begin with the latest price action. Why has there been such long and boring consolidation, and why is July set to be an epic month for crypto? And so, starting with price action, what do we see? Well, unfortunately, not a lot has changed for about 3.5 months. We're still trading between this 60,000 and 70,000 range. Now, this was the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs. And after an initial sell-off, there was a massive rally, taking it back to new all-time highs. So clearly, even though not a lot has happened recently, the Bitcoin ETFs were very good for the market. Unfortunately, it couldn't hold on to the breakout just yet. But to be fair, I mean, this is going from under 40,000 to over 70,000 in the matter of a couple of months. But how quickly people forget about this. And all people can think about right now is what's happened in the last few days. And yes, there has been quite a big sell-off in BTC, but it didn't hold below 60k and has been bought back up. So in technical analysis, we would call this the classic McDonald's sign. But I'm sure most people are not loving it. Joking aside, this for me is still just big consolidation as the market digests this massive move. And as you'll see later in this video, there is something big coming in July. So I, for one, am feeling very optimistic about next month. Now, when we look at seasonality, this is a great way to see the big picture overview and not get caught up in all the little daily swings. And what do we see? Well, when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum so far this year, Q1, almost 69%, let's say 70%, and for Ethereum, 60%. Yes, there's been a pullback in Q2, but still these are incredibly strong for the year, outperforming the S&P, outperforming the Nasdaq, outperforming gold, silver, property. It's still very, very strong. And when we look at the previous halving year, there was a pullback in Q1, but then Q2, Q3 and 4, very, very strong and all green for Ethereum. So I'd say it's very likely that we're going to have a very good Q3 and an even better Q4. So again, this all looks strong and good to me. Now, something very interesting to point out when it comes to the monthly. And humans are very good at pattern recognition, and there was one that jumps out most recently. And this is what's going to happen in July, with July coming just next week. So in June, we've had this pullback month. At the time of this recording, it's about 9%. And the question is, has this happened before? So if we go back and take a look, we only have to go to 2022 to find the last time there was a drop in June. And then what happened in July? We had a lovely rebound month, up 17%. Then here again, a drop in June, and what did we see? Another big bounce back in July. Same again here, a drop in June, and what do we see? Another massive month here in July. Has it happened again? Well, we've got one here. What happened? A massive month in July, and then one left right at the bottom, 2013, huge drop here, which gave us another nice month in July. So this also backs up every single time there's been a correction in June. Without fail, there's been a very strong July. So again, this is making me feel very optimistic about next month. So I'd say the data here says that after this pullback in June, July is looking very, very good. Now, jumping into the 4-year cycles, this really is the big picture as we get to see the previous 4-year cycles, 2012, 2016, and 2020. And one of the things I always point out is very clearly that we're getting diminishing returns each time as the market's getting bigger. So makes total sense. This one from bottom to top was about a 300x. This one about 130, this one about 20, and I'm guessing we're probably going to fit somewhere between 10 and 15x from the bottom. And this is where we're at right now, this crazy, uncertain period after the halving. So Bitcoin rewards are being cut in half. That is the main reason why Bitcoin's price should double. Now we have just come under this first cycle, which is absolutely fine. There was no way we were ever going to keep pace with this one. So we can knock this one out. And we're coming to a very interesting period right here. We're coming right down to this orange cycle here. And this next month is going to be very, very interesting as they all could be meeting back together. Now, realistically, if we're going to be fully objective, it really shouldn't be ahead of the orange cycle. There's no way it's going to keep pace and go over 130x again. So it's likely if we do get a strong July, at some point it has to come under. So there's going to be a very interesting line that plays out somewhere around here. But for me, the reason we're so high, again, was just this epic run from the Bitcoin ETFs. It massively shot up the market a lot higher than it technically should be. In fact, we set a new high before the halving, and that is something that had never been happened before. So unfortunately, we were given inflated portfolios prior to the halving, and we're now having to pay the price in this long, boring consolidation as it comes back down to more of a fair value. So still nothing out of the ordinary, and guys, we are getting very close to some epic rallies again. And finishing up with the biggest developments and news for the past couple of weeks, and this time I've got about 5. The first one was after Gary Gensler's wrist got slapped by the Biden administration, asking them to push through the Ethereum ETFs was a massive blow for the SEC, and they had to pull out one of their lawsuits against Consensus. Now that Ethereum is officially a commodity, although you will never get Gary Gensler to say those words. But it was a major win for the industry, and it also starts to crumble the case against the other companies. So much so that the SEC's head of crypto asset and cyber unit, this is the guy in charge of all these litigations. Controversially, did he leave? Did he step down, or was he fired? Regardless, someone who'd been there for 9 years has also suddenly departed. So things crumbling at the SEC. There's always something big going on with the banks, and this time it's not just Brazil's largest bank, but the largest bank in Latin America has started Bitcoin and Ethereum trading. And this is for millions of customers, retail investors. So great to see that they're actually pioneering this stuff in Brazil and coming to a country near you very soon. We have another mega bank, this time in the UK, Standard Chartered, and they're preparing to launch a trading desk also for Bitcoin and Ethereum. However, this time this will only be for institutional clients. However, it will go out to the institutions and then finally get rolled out to retail. If only we were able to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum before this happened. Well, obviously we did, and for a very short period of time you still can. One of the few times in history where we can front run the institutions. Now, coming in just a few days, we have our first massive crypto regulation getting launched in Europe, and this is MiCA, Markets in Crypto Assets. So lots of different things happening, with stable coins, but essentially the big picture is crypto regulation is getting rolled out around the world. Yes, it's taking incredibly long, painfully frustrating, and Europe is leading the way here over America, but it is happening. This is great to see. And as we all know, crypto is a liquidity play, so it does terribly when global liquidity is getting sucked out of the system, but it does amazingly when liquidity returns. And it's all correlating perfectly. So from where Bitcoin bottomed around 15,000, this is the run back to 70,000. And the great news is, for the rest of 2024 and 2025, liquidity around the world is coming back. So yes, we've waited a long time, but we are now entering the best time in the market cycle for crypto. And finally, as mentioned before, July looks to be a very hot month. And I think this literally could be the catalyst that sparks it all off. So the Bloomberg analysts are predicting that the Ethereum spot ETFs could start trading as soon as July the 2nd, which is only next week. This does seem a bit early, but even if it's July the 2nd or the week after, I think this is a very strong possibility that this is what's going to spark the next rally. It's going to be great for Ethereum, great for all the derivatives of Ethereum, and likely very good for the altcoins. And so again, let's let the rest of this week play out, but it looks to me July is setting up to be a very good month for the crypto market. After a long and boring sideways consolidation, are we about to see a big reversal in July? As you saw, amazingly, every single time in crypto's history that we've had a bad June, it's always been a great July. Every single time. The latest price action has brought the prices back to a normal healthy range after the Bitcoin ETFs shot the price from under 40k to 70k, and if that were to happen again, that would be a rocket ship straight to 100k. The SEC has been getting crushed left, right and center as the political winds are beginning to change. And the massive catalyst coming in July is the historic launch of the Ethereum ETF, which could come as soon as next week. So there you are guys, hope you enjoyed. Now, as you can see, there is so much to be bullish about, and well done for surviving the big crypto crash of June 2024. And I'll see you all for an epic July just next week. And just remember to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments. We are trying out the new SuperThanks commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.